All right, Kiel Brown, we've got you back from World Cup 2010. I'm going to take people through a little bit of anatomy of Kiel Brown because people tend to sort of just see players from posts, from caps, from bits and pieces. Your career didn't start at the World Cup.
No, it did not, unfortunately. Would have been a good way to kick it off.
Yeah. Where did your career start? Junior World Cup?
Yeah, probably international career, Junior World Cup. We had a few camps, obviously before that, but nothing really to write home to your mother about or anything like that. It was just a group of guys getting together and kind of the national selectors going yes, no, and when it all happened at the Junior World Cup in Rotterdam in 2005, that was a pretty good start.
So you went from Junior World Cup, unfortunately silver.
Always is a problem.
Champions Trophy 2008. That was in Rotterdam, and you guys came away with a gold there.
Yeah.
First senior selection?
Yes, it was the first senior selection for a major event. I obviously made my debut in 2007 in January against the Dutch. I played through the first 6 months of that year, and then didn't play again until the start of 2008. And then had a pretty stellar 2008, going to just about everything, and culminating in the Olympics at the end of it.
So that was the next part. You won gold in Rotterdam and Champions Trophy, which ended up being, I'm going to get to this point, a back-to-back Champions Trophy win for Australia. You went to Beijing under Barry Dancer, took the bronze in a fantastic game against the Dutch, but did miss out on that gold medal match. How much does it actually sting going all the way to Beijing, going all the way through that, winning the Champions Trophy in stellar form, and then taking what probably what a lot of people will say is underperformed as a team?
It hurts, it really does hurt, but when you really look back on that and probably take away everything, the build-up and the hype that probably surrounded, us as a team and, the way we performed beforehand, bronze medal, anyone would be happy with it, and, there's any number of billions of people in the world that would probably want that, just as much as I wanted it. Obviously reflective of the scoreline when we played the Dutch in the bronze medal match, 6-2, caught that. It's one of those things, we wanted it and we took it, and we sort of went from there as a team that, we did underperform, if you want to use those words, but we more think of it as we had a bit of room there to improve as a group and, as individuals.
The Olympics was a massive change within the team, Barry Dancer leaving as the coach, and Rich Charlesworth coming in, a whole new staffing. The team did change, and this is where we sort of really want to get at the crux of Kiel Brown, is where injury set in for yourself and things started turning around. Can you let people know what actually happened after this point?
Yeah, so injury was a bit of a build-up. So it kind of first presented itself, for all those that know medical kind of terminology, osteitis pubis, really popular with the footballers, soccer players, all that kind of stuff. Generally a problem with bone softening in your hips and groin region, which obviously causes a bit of pain and whatever. Started presenting itself in about April of 2008, and we managed to manage its development for a fair while, till it just came to a head in probably February of 2009, where they just kind of said, look, you either take 5 or 6 months now, or in 5 or 6 months' time you take the surgery option, which could put you out to anywhere up to a year. So 5 or 6 months was definitely a sore consolation for having to miss some hockey, but one that I am glad I did.
So through that period you missed Dutch season, majority of it anyway.
Yep.
For your beloved club, which was relegated.
Yeah, KZ.
And then what ended up happening after that? You worked very hard, but missed out on the back-to-back Champions Trophy in Norway.
Yeah, that was disappointing. But as I expressed to the national coaches, if you give, I suppose in our group, international standard players, 6 or 7 months head start on you, they're bound to take a good step forward, and a lot of the guys did. And unfortunately for me, I had to start from scratch halfway through the year and try and reach a level after 4 months and a few club games. What a lot of guys did over an international season, an AHL season, and everything that happened between that.
You missed that Champions Trophy, the gold. How much did that drive you to get into that World Cup squad, to get yourself to New Delhi, and then the drive in New Delhi to get yourself that, well, really, the biggest of them all, World Championship?
Yeah, I think they're all separate in their own right. I think, it stings not getting picked for any tour, let alone one that's in your home country. The boys did ridiculously well at that. Brought home back-to-back champions, and over sort of that period, it's about probably your own mental state, and a lot of guys over the Christmas period may have just gone, oh well, I'll pick it up kind of in January. But I knew I had a bit of work to do, and if I was really going to live up to what I told the national coaches, then I was going to have to get a head start on some guys, and that started pretty much when the boys left for champions.
So, and in reality, a lot of people always say it's a cliche. I missed out on this team. I'm going to drive. Was it real? Was it for you when missing out on that Champions Trophy? Was that a bigger drive than if you weren't in that Champions Trophy team to get into the World Cup squad?
Oh, I think it's something that developed a lot with Barry as a coach. I had a year in 2006 that was not unfortunate. It was disappointing on my behalf, where I was left out of the AOS program. Just in the development squad, and there was a year there that really sort of developed a real sense of, I suppose, work ethic and a real passion to be better than everybody else, and that was physically, that was mentally, and obviously skills on the park. So missing the Champions Trophy was probably just an extension of that, and another right, well, there's a bit of a hurdle, get over it, and get on with it.
Well, final question is, everybody knows the results of the World Cup. Everyone knows that you were concussed twice, 2 games in a row.
Yep.
Once with a player landing on you, and then the second was a stick landing on your head.
Yeah.
I think a bravery award, if there was one given out, should have been gone to you. 2 finals, 2 concussions. You've come back as a world champion now. It's less than 2 weeks away from being a world champion and coming back from India. Do you feel like a world champion? You're at work, everything's back at normal by the look of it.
Yeah. I think until you go to your next hockey engagement, to your next time that you're with the guys again, or someone actually mentions it to you, it's there, it's there, you are, but life goes on for semi-professional athletes. As you said, you've got work, you've got uni, you've got a family, you've got a wife, you've got girlfriends, whatever. You can't live in I earn $500,000 a year from my sport, and I can do what I want through the week. There's a real world, a real life, and although I'm a world champion, it doesn't matter when I turn up to work.
Well, for us at Gryphon, I think it does.
Yeah.
It makes a bit of a difference. But Ashton Star's coming up, and that's the next one, and then obviously Champions Trophy, Commonwealth Games. It's a busy year for you. We'll catch up with you during that period.
Can't wait.
Good luck for the Ashton Star, and also for your studies, and thank you for your time, Kyle.
Thanks, guys.